Greetings, Taku Faithful. Thank you for joining me again this week. Once again, it's Larry Williams, OAW Commander-in-Chief, and I'm here to bring you all yet again another Discussion of the Week video segment right here on Otaku Assemble Weekly. And as always, I'm here to bring you the latest in this week's Discussion of the Week video segment. And this week's discussion topic comes from Sidetrack Yo, who states, "You said before not to be reluctant to repost Discussion of the Week suggestions, and as a result, I'll say it again. Would you mind doing a video on those ridiculed for not having a life, i.e. social life? Is it an enraging term? It is an enraging term because it makes it sound like a person's existence is less valuable if they are not sociable in their doings and outings, when in reality there are many significant and valid reasons as to why a person can't have a social life. I think Game Freak's vid on introversion might help you out with this one." So pretty much the topic for this week is introversion. And for the record, I actually did check out the Insane Game Freak's video on introversion, and I highly recommend it to you all. And I'll actually post this video as a video response to his societal discussion. So pretty much my thoughts on introversion, and I guess I can go ahead and expound into introversion as in contrast to extroversion. But anywho, so for those of you all kind of out of the loop, introversion is pretty much the act of keeping to oneself. Typically people who are introverted are not well known for social outings, for going out, and things of that nature. They typically tend to keep to themselves, typically tend to stay at home, and pretty much go about their lives doing those activities. So my whole thoughts on introversion. Now, I might have commented on this in previous videos, I don't know, but in all honesty, I don't really have a problem with introversion. If a person what's the term I'm looking for? I'm at a loss for words today. Sorry, I've been spending all day writing. Prefers, there we go. If a person prefers to, keep to themselves, I don't see any problem with that. My problems with introversion comes into play when you take in consideration people who, despite their preference for, or rather because of their preference to kind of remain to themselves, never really take the opportunity of going out or being around other people, meeting new people, being more social. What I'm saying is this: I don't have a problem with introversion if it is a choice being made after you've already explored what's out there. If you've gone out, if you've spent time with other people, if you've gone to many social events or social outings and things of that nature, and then you decide, well, this isn't really my thing, this isn't really my bag, and decide to be more introverted, then that's perfectly fine. And that's what I'm saying. My problem only comes into play with those people who never take the opportunity to go out. Now, of course, you do have people who are naturally introverted, who just have always kind of, played to their own tune and kind of stuck to their own thing and never really bothered with being more social. And that's fine too, but I think at that point, it does become more of a challenge. And it does become, I think, more of a, I don't want to say obligation, but more of an assignment for that person to try and, break, try to get outside of their comfort zone and see what is out there. Now, I'll admit, just speaking personally, I don't consider myself to be a natural introvert. I think I am more of the chosen introvert, if you will. And that's not because I'm just so against social outings. It's just that I've had my share of them. I mean, my freshman semester in college, I was clubbing not every night, but damn near every night. Because we had what? college night on Wednesdays, ladies night on Thursdays, Friday was of course Friday, and Saturday night of course was Saturday, and then a lot of the like frat and sorority parties were on Saturday nights too. So yeah, pretty much 4 days out of the week, back to back to back, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights I was out. Oh, also on Saturdays we had football games during the fall semester, so I was doing that too, 4 days out of the week. And then I had an 8 o'clock class every morning. So yeah, after a while, that kind of takes its toll on you, and then of course, like after a couple of months or so, I wasn't even hanging out with the same crowd. So of course I wasn't going to the same social events with them because I just wasn't hanging out with them anymore. So in regards to things like that, I kind of got it out of my system. And I mean the same thing in regards to like, the football games. Like I used to go to every UL football game. I used to not miss one. But by the time I got to my junior year, I kind of stopped going. And that's not because I didn't enjoy going anymore. It's just that I kind of got it all out of my system. You know what I'm saying? I kind of wore myself out of it. And now, the thing is, I mean, the vast majority of my friends that I did have in college have already graduated like myself. Most of them have actually left school before me, whether they dropped out, transferred, or graduated. A lot of them have started families and started careers and have moved on. So that, and the fact that a lot of the hobbies I do nowadays can be done at home, yeah, I'm just now kind of being more introverted just because, that's just the reality of my situation. The majority of my friends are gone. I'm out of school, and all of my hobbies, including YouTube, and, all the friends I made online, all of that can be done at home. So yeah, I don't go out as much as I used to anymore. Yeah, but that's not just because I just completely decided not to. It's just because that's how things kind of happen. I went out, had fun, had a blast. I don't really regret any of it, Met some pretty cool people, and everything, when you take it in stride as a learning experience, benefits you in the future. So yeah, I don't regret doing any of it. And in all honesty, I actually encourage more young people to go out and do it. Because like I said, if nothing else, it's a learning experience. But at the same time, no, I don't condemn people who decide not to. That's just your choice. And everyone's entitled to make their own decisions, especially if you're an adult, That's kind of what being an adult is all about. Making your own decisions and living with those decisions. Now, one thing that the Insane Game Freak did mention in his video that I do want to address is this idea of how someone will make the decision to be more introverted just because the outside world isn't that appealing to them. And in that regard, once again, I'm bringing it back to my previous statement. But how would you know if you don't go out there? Now, yeah, we know about, we know how messed up the world is. We know this, okay? We know how shitty and how despicable and how cynical the world can be. Yes, we understand this. But once again, how do you know unless you go out there? How do you know unless something does happen to you where you can learn from it and decide not to later on? If you never take the risk, if you never take the opportunity, then you're missing out on these aspects of life. And I do believe that. Once again, I don't condemn people who choose to be introverted, but at the same time, I try to get people to be more outgoing and to be more social. So that, once again, if you decide to be introverted, then yeah, it's a well-informed and well-educated decision. And it's not a decision made off of fear or paranoia or animosity or anything of that nature, And I think that's the most important thing to take in consideration when you're discussing this topic. Why is it, for those of you all who are introverted, why is it? And why not take the risk? Now, of course, with that being said, you want to minimize the risk as much as possible, but at the same time, don't be afraid to see what's out there. Because, yeah, sure, the world ain't all sunshine and rainbows, but it ain't all hellfire and brimstone either, you know. And yeah, I think in hindsight, you know, missing out on, if you choose to never go out there, you know, you will miss out on opportunities. You will miss out on meeting very interesting and very compelling people. And that's just the truth of the situation. So all in all, I mean, that pretty much wraps up my thoughts on this week's discussion topic. But please, in the comments below, guys, let me know your thoughts on this week's topic. But also leave suggestions for next week's topic and thumb up the ones you want to see the most. Now, I understand that I have done many discussion of the week topics. I think I'm over 25 videos by now, somewhere around that number. But guys, please, let's get a little bit creative and a little inventive. You know, let's put some ingenuity into these discussion topics. Once again, guys, and just for the record, because I know a lot of you all, I know a couple of people have actually left comments about, they don't know whether or not this is a suitable topic because I do tend to discuss very serious issues on this segment. But guys, remember, go back and look at my playlist. Go back and look at some of the earlier topics. I wasn't always talking about, you know, very serious real world issues. I was talking about a lot of things in regards to film and television and comic books and literature, you know. So guys, this segment is not completely reserved for, you know, real world hard topic issues. No, but any topic that I haven't discussed yet, or maybe a topic that I have discussed that I might not have discussed in much detail, you know, any topic that I don't normally have a venue to discuss. And once again, like I said, the best topics are always the multi-questionable ones. The topics that have multiple questions that all tie into the topic. And that way, not only is it a well thought out question by you all, but that will help drive a well thought out discussion by me. So guys, once again, like I said, in the comments below, leave your thoughts on this week's topic. And don't be afraid to think outside of the box for some future topics to suggest right here. Like I said, if you guys aren't thinking about, I mean, okay, how do I put this? There is no, I will never bash a viewer of mine or an otaku faithful for thinking outside the box. No, I'll bash you when you start regurgitating ideas. I will never bash you for thinking outside the box. And with that being said, this has been Larry Williams, OAW Commander-in-Chief, letting you guys know, keep an eye out for my Game of Thrones and my Vikings episode reviews coming later this week. And until next time, peace.